Welcome. Hi, my name is Tina Kavergich. I am Northern Stamper. Thank you for joining me. Today is Takeaway Tuesday with Northern Stamper. And today I'm going to show you how to make a card. Very simple. And we are going to be using Simply Zinnia. Now, this is an online exclusive. It is not found in any of the catalogs. Okay, so just to let you know, they are not found on the catalogs. They have released a whole bunch of new items online, and it's online only that you can find it. If you have any questions about anything that I use here, you can drop a comment below, or you can send me an email to northernstamper@gmail.com. I thought I had it written out, but pretty simple, northernstamper@gmail.com. I'm a Canadian independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to help you learn to create some really amazing cards. So this is going to be really great. Next week is a very exciting conference for Stampin' Up! And I'm very excited to be attending that in Houston, Texas. Woohoo! Going to be attending that, and we get to see what the new products are coming out down the road in April, and that is going to be very exciting. So in the meantime, sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and let's create a card using Simply Zinnia. Now this is a bundle. So a bundle means it's a stamp set and some dies. Let me find the dies. Okay, it comes with these, and we're going to be using them both, along with what you are going to need, of course, our trimmer to cut some items. And we're going to be using a Stamp and Boss machine. Okay, this is the mini, so it's a small one. I highly suggest that if you're getting one, get the larger one because it can do much more. The mini one's great for traveling, but I like the larger one because it has a little larger platform and can cut out a little larger dies and embossing and stuff like that. So I just wanted to let you know those are some of the items that we're going to be using. Let's place this away. We are also going to be using some designer series paper. Okay, I got to tell you, when you look at designer series paper, you look at it in the catalog and say, oh, you know what? That looks nice, but I don't know if I like it. You know what? I am never disappointed when I get the paper. You get the paper in hand, okay? You look at it on a video or in a book and you say, oh, you know, that's nice, but I don't know if I like it. Once you get it, the vibrant colors, like I got to tell you, for the Zinnia Designer Series paper, the colors on a video or in the book just do not do it justification. It is so much more vibrant in person than it is online or in a catalog. So I just wanted to let you know that, because when you look at designer series paper, you may kind of think, no. I've been a demonstrator for 6 years, and I got to tell you, the number of times I've been disappointed with designer series paper has got to be less than like 5, and that's a lot of paper I've gone through. So just to let you know that. Okay, let's get started. And okay, so what I did is, this is a package that I had from last month. I was going to use this package and do a Takeaway Tuesday, but some things came up and I was unable to use this package. But I thought, you know what, today I'm going to wing it. Okay, I do not have a card plan for this, but I'm going to wing it. I have an idea and I'm going to bring it to you, and let's get started. So what we're going to do in this package that I have some basic white, just some basic white cardstock. Okay, I've got some basic black cardstock. Pretty simple, huh? And then what you need to add in is some designer series paper. Okay, I really love this side, but we're not going to be using this side today. We're going to be turning it over and using the back side, which is a little bit kind of more of a pattern. So it's not going to it's not going to overpower the card that we're making. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be using, with our Memento black ink and our stamp set, we're going to be making some of these flowers. Now, in particular, I'm going to be using this large one right here. Okay, and I'm going to be using the sentiment on the bottom, this large gratitude one. So these two items are what we're going to be using today. What you may also need to bring in is some coloring items, either chalk, Stampin' Blends, paint, crayon, whatever you got around you can use. Maybe we can do a little caveman and get some berries and stuff like that, but that's totally up to you. Okay, so those are the items that we're going to be using. So give me a thumbs up if you are ready to get started with this card. Hopefully it'll turn out. I'm pretty sure it will, because you know what? Every card always turns out fantastic. So, Mr. Cameraman, we got people ready? I'm so excited.
I think we're ready. We got a couple of hellos and good mornings from Gail and Carol.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, let's get started. And what we're going to do, let's get our card base. Okay, so I have made this card base let's just say it's like a long hot dog. Okay, as opposed to going the other way, which kind of flips like this. Let's call that a hamburger. So this is a long cut, long way down and scored in the middle. Okay, pretty simple as that. But what we're going to do is we're going to do some cutting on the front of this card. Yeah, and I hope this works. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to get our trimmer. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I have the score line right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off most of this card front, and I'm going to reserve the rest because we are going to use it. So I'm going to take this in, and I'm going to take my score line, and I'm just going to place it maybe at 2 inches or 1 3/4. It is totally up to you. I'm going to do it at 1 3/4 so I can see it there. I'm just going to move it up 1 3/4. See, there's the line there, and I'm just going to cut. Okay. Wow, that really makes it short, huh? That is a short little bit. So what I'm going to do, remember we reserved this. I'm going to be cutting a piece off here, but I'm going to wait until we do some stamping on some white and cut it down, because I'm not 100% sure what the dimensions are going to be. So because I have this cut at 1 3/4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some DSP, and I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller. I think I have donut sprinkles in here. Have you been eating your donut sprinkles over this, cameraman? Okay, so I'm going to cut this down. So the border was 1 3/4. I'm going to cut it down to 1 1/2. And that's going to be 1 1/2 by 4. Okay, so I'm going to turn that, and I'm going to cut it by 4. Just to double check, let's place it on the piece, and it fits exactly on there. It is looking good. I see there's a little bit of like fluff around. That just tells me that it is time to change the scoring blade, and I have lots of those here. So I have a little bit on the front here. You see how it fits? Let's close that up. Okay, I have a little bit on the front there. Okay, so you know what? I'm in a trailer. I have very little space. I've already lost my glue. Okay, where'd it go? And we're going to glue that on the front just so that we don't lose it. And look at this. It's a brand new glue we're going to use. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this on the front because I don't want to lose it. Now, I'm telling you, I love the back side of this. So this hurts to glue this down. Okay, putting a little bit of glue there. And let's place that down. I know it's kind of hard to see black on black, so let's go like that. Okay, here we go. Make sure it has a nice edge. I'm going to leave that for a minute, and I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to go back to this piece that we had here, and I'm going to actually get the stamp out, so the one that says this on, or you know what, we could always use thank you so much. It's totally up to you. Oh, look at this one, sending flowers and thinking of you. Wow, there's some really good ones. I'm not really sure which one I should use. If you got a favorite from the 3, let me know which one you think we should be using. In the meantime, I'm going to take the largest one and put it on here, and just for measuring. So if I place that on there, I can see that that's 1 inch. So if I go to the same size as we did the first one, 1 3/4, I will have enough space to do this card that I have planned. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. First, I got to make sure I've cut it the right way. Okay, 1 3/4. Okay, 1 3/4, and it's 4 1/4, so that's the same size. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of that DSP. Remember that one we have here? I'm going to do that on this one too. Okay, so again, take it down to 1 1/2. And I'm going to turn this and make it 4 inches. Again, just exactly like the first one that we did. And I'm going to glue this right on top just so that I don't lose it. I can see all these little edges. I just wet my finger and I'm going to put down those little edges, those fluffy edges. Okay, we're going to do that. So I have that on there. Okay, so I have the 2 pieces, one here, there's a top, there's a bottom. Okay, what we're going to do next, I'm going to let that dry. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping on some white cardstock. So I got my white cardstock, and I'm going to take my zinnia. I'm going to take this large one and I'm going to stamp it in black. Okay, so let's get that first. Okay, get that out. And I want to find a block that is large enough. So hopefully this fits. Oh my goodness, it just fits on there. There we go. So this is block E. This is an E size block. You can tell it's a larger, it fits right on. And you'll notice that I put the stamp on crooked. I do that on purpose. Okay, so let's ink this guy up with some black. And we're going to stamp on our paper. Okay, because this is a little larger size stamp, I'm going to be bringing my stamp pad to the image itself. So I'm going to ink that up. That looks pretty good, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp it on this paper. And this is my favorite part of any stamping exercise. Placing it down and lifting it up. That's my favorite part. Oh my goodness. The image that you end up getting, it always makes me so excited. So look at that. Look at the detail of the little petals there. I really love them. This is great for coloring. What we're going to do is we're going to get our cut and emboss machine, and we are going to take the dies that match this from our die set. And in the die set, there's a whole bunch. I like these ones. They make the little flowers separate. There's a stem and a leaf. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and you lay it right on top. Now, when you place a die down, you'll notice that this is a flat side and there's a sharp side, and this is what's going to be cutting. So I'm going to be placing that down, and I'm going to run that through the Stamp and Emboss machine. Okay. Okay, so let's get that started. So I got the Stamp and Emboss machine. So this has to be done my way because I need the handle. So there are different plates that come with the Stamp and Emboss machine. And what we just do is we just follow the instructions that are on the plate. So I need plate number 1. Let's see. And plate number 2. Okay, so that I'm just looking. Let's see, what's this one? Insert embossing folder, the embossing folder, that one. Okay, so just follow the instructions that are on the plates. It's very simple. So I'm going to take my plate number 2, which is clear. See, I used it quite a bit. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the die and I'm actually going to place it on top. Now, you're going to notice that I already have some of these colored, but it is just for so that we have saved some time. Okay. You'll notice that I did color these, and I colored them with Stampin' Blends. You can color and then cut, or cut and then color. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to place this on, and I'm going to look around the edges, okay? If you have some little post-it notes, you can place it on top so it doesn't like slide about. I'm going to look around the edges to make sure that they are all the way in, okay? So I have that in there. If you don't have a post-it note on top, carefully place the other plate on top, and we're going to run it through, okay? And I'm cranking it, and I'm holding the top with the one hand, okay? And it's going to go through. This is like I'm making a panini sandwich. That's what I tell people. It's like making a grilled cheese or a panini. So you got your bread and your cheese. This is the bread part. So we got it run through, and it will cut. So there we go. We're going to move this aside. And there we go. There it is, all cut. I'm going to place that down there so you can see. And yes, you'll notice it is colored. It is just, the only reason I colored it is to save time on this video so that you can see what I'm making on the card. All right, so back to the card. We got our piece here. There's our card base. Okay, I'm going to take this little piece. Some people may have already made a card like this. I'm going to place that along the bottom, and I'm going to lay this across. Okay, so the reason, what I'm basically doing is I'm creating a bridge with this flower to the bottom and the top piece, okay? Now, I'm not going to glue it down because I still have a sentiment to add to this, okay? And let's see what sentiment that we have. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down various sentiments, and I'm going to see which one I like. Now, remember, it's going to be placed on white. So I really, oh, that one works really, really well. It's a little small. It doesn't overpower the flowers, and it has a really nice message. So that, I think that would look really nice. Okay, let's move that one away. I could use the little thank you so much and just place it on the other side. I'm really liking that one. Because it's offset from the flower, okay? Where the other one I would have had to kind of run around or beside the flower. So let's go look at that. And the really largest one, which is this one here, I can also do. Now that really stands out, and I think that would work too. Comment below which one you think would look best on this card, and our cameraman will let us know the first comment which sentiment we should be using. Gratitude, thank you, or sending flowers. Okay, let me know, and we'll get that started. Okay, so I'm going to get some basic white.
Liz actually mentioned earlier gratitude.
Okay, so we're going to go with the gratitude one. Oh. Thank you, Liz, for that comment.
And Angela as well agrees.
Okay, let's go with gratitude. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this and place it on a block. Again, I've got my piece of cardstock here, and now this one I'm going to choose that one would fit on the inside. I'm going to use this one. Nope, I'm going to use this one because it's a scrap of paper.
A quick question. Are you stamping directly on the DSP?
That would be a good question. You know what? We can do both and see which one works the best. We can stamp directly on the DSP. And if we don't like it, we can stamp on the white and then cover it over. How about that? That's a really good question. So let's do that. I'm going to stamp on the DSP. Okay, so let's ink it up. We're going to stamp on the DSP. Okay, and I'm going to ink it up with the black. All right. Pat and turn. All right, that's looking good. Okay, now I have to do it this way because if I do it upside down, then I just really might get it wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset it, and I'm going to bring it down a little bit because I'm thinking that the stems are going to come there. So let's go down. And if this doesn't turn out, that's okay. We have more paper. Hey, that worked really well. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Liz, I'm so excited. There we go. That looks great. Because the paper is kind of subtle, we can still see the words in the black really. This is part 2. Apparently something had gone wrong with Facebook. So just to let you know, I wanted to let you know I'm going to finish this card and I will upload this portion of the video once Facebook is up and running. So we're going to recap what we did. So here's our card. There's our card base. We've glued on the top. We've stamped and colored an image of the flower. We have stamped our sentiment on the bottom portion of the designer series paper. So that turned out really, really nicely. I like that color, the black on the designer series paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay it down as if it was part of the card. So I'm just going to lay it down and go around the edge. So what I want to do now is I'm going to be gluing this piece across like a little bridge. And what we're going to be using is our dimensionals. I want this flower to pop up and give some height. So we're going to do it with some dimensionals. And I'm going to do some on a little bit on the bottom. Now, because I'm looking at the stems and I have very little space, I'm going to actually move this down a little bit so I can get a bit of the flower on the top. I'm going to have dimensionals, and see that leaf is just covering over. So that is my main point. I'm going to go on to that leaf and have a couple of pieces of, there we go, dimensional on that. Oh, that kind of moved over. Ah, no. Lift that up, and we're going to move it over. And I'm going to place it on there. So right on the bottom, I'm going to flip it over. Can you see it? No, you can't. That's perfect. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of dimensionals on the top, one on each flower. We're going to be creating a bridge. So I'm going to put that up as close to the top as I possibly can. Okay, let's peel these off. And let's create our bridge with these flowers. Who says you can't make a bridge out of flowers? Oh, those engineers are wrong. Okay, so I'm going to line that up. Line it up, and I'm going to hold it as if it's all one piece. I'm going to take my bridge and I'm going to place it on top. Double check where those dimensionals are and place it on the bottom. Let's see if it worked. Okay, let's open it up. Oh dear. Oh, I forgot to look on the back of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut another piece out and glue it on the back. So, oops, let's pull this off. I did not realize I used a scrap piece. And when you open the card, you will notice that. Oh, dear. Okay, I'm going to carefully lift this off. Okay, carefully lift it off. Okay, yeah, so there's a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my embossing machine. I'm going to get a piece of basic white. And I'm just going to cut it out. Make sure it's a clean piece on both sides. All right, cut that out. You would not have to do this. Double check when you color. So sometimes the Stampin' Blends bleed through, so that you might have to do this step anyways. And I'm going to look for those plates somewhere. Okay, 1 sec. Hit pause. Hit pause. Okay, so we got our plates again. Number 1, making our little sandwich. There we go. Number 2, our piece of bread, piece of white. I'm going to place that on top. And we're going to cut that through. All right. We're going to use this on the back. All right, let's place this off to the side so I can't find it later. Now, let's get these little dimensionals off. Sometimes as you're going through creating a card, you might have to backtrack a little bit. Okay, sometimes that happens. All right, let us glue this down, and I'm going to be using some glue dots. Place these on. I find glue dots are nice and sticky, and they work well. Okay, get that on there. Oh, that one didn't go on. That glue dot is having a timeout for this moment. I think all these glue dots are going to have a timeout in a minute. All right, so we got that. Let's double check. Oh, that's backwards. Okay, gonna put it on this way. Line it up. Lay it down. There we go. Now it's a nice clean back. And let's go back to our step here where we are going to be placing our flower. Now I noticed that when I placed it the first time, very little space on the bottom for a dimensional. So I'm actually going to take off this dimensional. And I'm going to be using the glue dots because one, they're easier to get in. Or if you use the really, really tiny dimensionals, you can do that too. So let's get some glue dots going. Okay, take a glue dot. I'm going to roll it a little bit and I'm going to place it on that bottom stem. And I'm going to do that for a few spots. Okay, on the stem. See how tiny the little glue dot can get? I can roll that up and it will fit nicely on there. So let's get that on there. And I'm actually going to just do one portion at a time. Line this up again. Okay. Lay that down. Bit of an angle. And I'm going to put the glue dots. Let's lift this up and see how it goes. Look, there is no glue and I can still put some more on. See, I put 3 glue dots. That's holding really well. So what I'm going to do is continue with the glue dots for the top. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue dots. I know for sure I need to put one on this boo-boo spot here, right? Again, on this boo-boo spot. Let's add a little bit more, so just to make sure it sticks, we're going to put one on here. And up here, close to the top, because I know for sure that that's going to reach that top portion of the bridge. Okay, so there we go. Okay, there we go. Again, line this up again. Okay, and lay it down. Place that like that. Now I can see this is flapping up a little bit. I can use a little bit of a glue dot and tuck it underneath. All I need to do is roll it up like a Tim Hortons cup, roll up the rim and tuck it underneath to stay down. Okay, look, and now that is kind of opening like that. Looks good on the back, but because this is a dark card base, let's add the inside. I'm going to make it as white. So that's already cut and it has a nice frame around. Let's glue that down. Okay, there we go. We're going to add a little bit of glue here. There we go. If you want, you can stamp this before you place it in. There we go. On the inside. And then we just close this up. There we go. That looks really super cool. Now what we can do, if you are not quite finished, we can add some ribbon. I've just grabbed a couple of different ribbons. Now this is a pink, doesn't quite match the coloring of what I've done. So let's look at a different color. This is a Lost Lagoon color, and I think that might be enough of a contrast to that flower. So let's create a little bow. Okay, always remember little rabbit ears. Okay, crossing over, going through the hole, and then tying it. Okay, there we go. Tidy that up a little bit. we can place our bow right there. Here, actually, that I think is going to work really nicely. I'm going to get some glue dots on the back of this ribbon. So I'm going to put it on the back of that ribbon, right on that knot piece. Right there, one. And let's add a little bit more just to the ribbons here. Oh, and one more. We'll add it to the last one. There we go. And we'll just pop that on there just for a little design. There we go. A little long on the tails, but you can always cut those if you like. Angle cut. There we go. If you want, don't forget, I know Wink Stella is currently out of stock, but if you have Wink Stella, take your pen and gently touch on some of the flower parts, the Wink Stella. Okay, I'm just going to dab that on. Now, as I said, that this card was totally not designed. Okay, I'm going to show you the original card that I had designed, and I'm going to show you the big difference. So the items are from the same from what I was going to create with another card, and I've lost the other card. And okay. Oh, there it is. So this was the first card. That was the original design. Okay, open it up. There's a little bit of DSP and some white. What I decided to do, because I thought the flower made a really nice bridging effect, place it like that. I really like this card design. I love the zinnias, and I think this year I am going to be doing a lot of zinnias in my flower beds this year. I think I'm going to go to the closest nursery and grab some, and that's what we're going to do for a hobby this summer. So comment below if you were able to finish watching this card. I love it. Actually, this turned out way better than I thought it would. I really like it. You can you don't see the back, right? And you just bridge it across. So that's how we are making our bridge card today. If you have any questions, if you love the zinnia set, I wanted to show you. Also, I did it in yellow for my friend Liz, since she loves yellow because yellow means happy. These zinnias are fantastic. I love them. I love the paper and everything that goes with it. So comment below if you enjoyed today's card. And we will see you next Takeaway Tuesday. Same channel, same time. Okay? Take care and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.